What's up, everyone? Nick here. A couple weeks ago, I made a video about my experience at basic combat training, just kind of a general overview. And in that video, I said I would do a more detailed video, kind of breaking it down week by week, what you're going to be doing. So this is that video. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. I'm going off of my notebook that I kept for all of basic combat training. I'm not going to talk about MEPS at all. I already have a separate video for that. Or not MEPS, my bad. Reception. So I'm not going to talk about reception at all. I have a separate video for that. So let's get into it. So your last day of reception / first day of basic, it's going to be pickup day. Typically it's going to be like 4 to 7 days after you get to reception. I think they're generally on like a Thursday. No, it's a Monday. Mine was a Monday. But basically that entire first week you're there, you're only going to be doing like we had pickup day. You're going to get your first 72, which it's just hazing. I mean, you're just going to get hazed like crazy for 3 days. It is what it is. So for my class, it was kind of different because we were like 2 days into the first 72 and we had to go pick up like another 40 or 50 trainees. So we kind of got the first 72, it turned into like the first 6 days. So our first week was kind of crappy, but it is what it is. Funny story now. But most of that is you're just going to be doing administrative paperwork. It's a lot of classroom time. You do go to CIF that first week. And something to keep in mind is all of these training schedules are going to be different. The Army's always trying out slightly different setups, removing things from the curriculum, adding them to it. Ours kind of got cut a little bit short because in our 7th week, we had holiday block leave. So we had a couple days less instruction time than otherwise would be, allotted. So we shuffled around a lot of stuff. We did grenade training super late. I think that's usually a little bit earlier. And some other stuff is weird. So it's going to be slightly different for you guys probably, but it's all the same stuff, assuming you're watching this in like 2025, 2026. So that first week is mainly just paperwork, administrative work. You're going to go to CIF, Central Issuance Facility. You're going to get all your, your helmet, your IOTV, your vest, all your TA-50 basically that you're going to have to turn back in, your sleep system. What else was it? Your level 3 plates and the stuff sacks. I think, and then you're going to get a bunch of other random stuff, mag pouches, grenade pouches, your tap system or your flick. You get to keep most of that though through AIT. So into week 2. Week 2 is when basic kind of really starts. You're going to start out with an obstacle course. I think it was called Fit to Win for us. Pretty fun, pretty cool. It was an enjoyable event. I liked it a lot. Right after Fit to Win, we did the gas chamber. So we just went straight into the gas chamber. I think it's CS gas. It's just tear gas, and not just tear gas. It still sucks. But you're going to go in there. You're going to get your pro mask. They're going to demonstrate that the mask actually works. And then after you get a little bit of confidence with your mask, they're going to tell you to take it off. And that's when you get gassed, baby. It's not fun, but I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. You'll remember it for sure, though. So right after that, we did our TCCC training, which is a tactical combat casualty care. Just basic combat medicine, just applying tourniquets and bandages, basically. How to save someone's life if they get hit by shrapnel or a bullet, hopefully. Right after that, we started the indoor range, a little bit of a marksmanship training. It was EST 2000, which they didn't really set it up right for us. It kind of sucked. We couldn't hit anything because they didn't zero the electronic rifles. It was kind of a waste of time, honestly. But you'll go out there to EST 2000. You'll get familiar with the M4 system. If you ever shot an AR-15, it's just that with an automatic feature that you're never going to get to use. And if you haven't shot before, it's nothing to be worried about. It's a 22 caliber rifle. There's next to no recoil whatsoever. So after EST 2000, we did Victory Tower, which is the rappel tower. And the rappel tower was pretty scary. Just in my case, I was more worried about getting yelled at by the drill sergeants because they were screaming at people. And I'm left-handed, and we had all the left-handed people go first so we could be like helpers for the instructors for the rest of the day. So we got there, and within 10 minutes, I was standing at the bottom of that rappel tower with my crap in my hands, learning how to do this. So we went first. After you do it, it's kind of like, dang, I want to do that again. Again, a lot of stuff in red phase, especially, which is like the first 4 weeks of your time in basic. It's just confidence building, learning that your equipment actually does work, and kind of helping you to build confidence in yourself, get over any mental blocks you might have, and it does work. So after Victory Tower, moving into week 3 now, because typically you don't really do much on a Saturday or Sunday. You might on Saturday, but typically Sundays are not anything to get worried about. Moving into week 3, we did our first field exercise. It's the hammer. It's really easy. It's like a 5-mile, 4-mile foot march with your rucksack. Just learn how to actually pack your rucksack beforehand, and if you get the chance, get some decent boots. I had to ruck in the basic training stompers, the crap they issue to you at reception. They suck. They made my toes go numb. Go get yourself a pair of real boots. I have my, these are Garmont T8 Evos. I wore them all through basic. I still wear them in the wintertime. They're cold weather boots. They suck in the summer. They make your feet hot as hell. But I'd highly recommend like Garmont T8s are pretty popular, the NFSs. I can't really speak to anything else. I've heard some good things about Nikes. I can't remember what the Nike boot's called. I've always worn Garmonts. I like my Garmonts. I'm going to try out the Nikes this summer, actually, just because I need another pair of warm weather boots. But yeah, go get real boots. But back to the hammer. It's just, you learn some basic soldiering stuff. It's pretty fun, honestly. I don't think we ran any battle drills at the hammer, but you learn basics about, digging a ranger grave, a foxhole. Very, very basic, like, squad level maneuvers, mainly just, what is it? Squad column, fire team wedge. That's pretty much all you learn. If you take fire, you return fire, seek cover immediately, get online, stuff like that. The hammer is a lot of fun. You're only in the woods for a night, so if you get good weather, it's kind of just like a camping trip. The next day, they call it recovery ops, and I thought this was going to be recovery for us. But I learned it's not recovery for you, it's recovery for the Army's equipment. So you're going to spend all day cleaning weapons, getting stuff squared away, which it's just boring. I mean, you're probably going to be a bit tired also. But we did ticket sales after that the next day. You're not going to do that unless you have holiday block leave. Basically, we just got our schedules and tickets all squared away for when we actually, went back to holiday block leave. Next day was the confidence course. And the confidence course, it's just another obstacle course. This is when you're going to do Jacob's ladder. It's the big, tall, 30 whatever foot ladder where you got to kind of reach up and, pull yourself up to the next rung. If you're shorter, it's going to be scary. I could luckily stand for all of it. But yeah, you got to have confidence in yourself. And this is probably going to be the scariest obstacle for most people because it's freehand climbing. I mean, you can fall off of it and you'll really mess yourself up if you do. So don't fall, do it as fast as you can, and don't look down. The next day following that, and this is the end of week 3, this was our first live ammunition range day. Shooting is not as much fun as it sounds because you get about 40 rounds if you're a decent shot. If you suck, you'll be out there all day trying to shoot your targets. But once you finish, you're just going to go do concurrent drills, and that's it. You'll wait around for 5, 6, 7 hours while everyone else finishes their range day. So you'll zero your M4s that day, basically. So that's the end of week 3. Now, moving into week 4, you're going to go back to EST, the crappy rifle range. They're going to put you on the qualifying course. Again, they didn't zero our rifles, so almost every single person shot 0 for 40. It was a waste of time. I don't really know what else to say about that. We went to Loma the day after that, which is really cool. It's the electronic range. That's where you're really going to get your rifle zeroed in. I highly recommend being there that day, not missing it for sick call or whatever. I missed Loma, and it really screwed me up on the qual course because my rifle was not zeroed. I had to borrow my buddy's rifle and finish out that way, and he'd never cleaned the frickin' thing. It jammed like 12 times on me. It was terrible. So we did pre-qual after Loma, and then we had an entire day blocked off for pre-qual, but we kind of just moved into the qual right after that. And qualification, whatever you want to call it. It's just when you actually shoot the qualification course to be able to, qualify with your M4. It's kind of nerve-wracking because if I hadn't shot a lot with rifles, plus my rifle wasn't zeroed, so I shot like 15 out of 40 and then 12 out of 40. And I'm like, hold up. I know I'm not this bad of a shot. Like, I got to get someone else's rifle. I got my buddy's rifle and it was all good. So you're going to run your qual. You're probably going to have a couple people, maybe 10, 15 that can't shoot for crap. And it'll be out there all day while the rest of you guys are standing around doing concurrent drills. It's not fun, especially if you have bad weather. So that's week 4, and this is white phase. Once you move into week 4, it's all the marksmanship phases. So end of week 4, moving into week 5, you get your CCOs. So you're going to do all the same stuff that you just did for week 4, except you're going to have a rifle sight now, basically. I don't know what kind of sight it was. Again, they didn't even bother to zero our CCOs, so nobody could hit anything with them. It sucked and was kind of stupid. But also during week 5, you go back to reception and you get fitted for your dress uniforms. That was pretty cool. At some point, you're going to take an ACFT during the week. No big deal. And then we moved into land nav after that. I promise, land nav is not as hard as you might think it is. I had like no outdoors experience whatsoever, like camping, backpacking, going through the woods, hunting, like any of that crap. It's not hard. If you can navigate using your iPhone map, just learn how to plot points, pay attention in the class they give you, you'll be fine. Don't overcomplicate it. It's really not that bad. At some point, you'll go to the PX in this time frame. You can't really put a date on it, but you typically go like every 2 to 3 weeks. So that's the end of week 5. Moving into week 6, you're going to keep doing your CCO qualification. And so you'll go back to Loma. You'll do the electronic zeroing again. You'll do your pre-qual. And then this week, you'll actually do your battle march, which is pretty cool. We got rained out that day, so we were soaking wet trying to do this. It kind of made it a little more badass, in my opinion, if anything in basic can be called badass. But you're going to do like a HIIT workout, basically, high-intensity interval training. They set up some course for us. We ran like a half mile with like litters, ammo cans, and all this stuff. Got our heart rates up, and then we went and shot the qual course. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. And right after that, we went into our second FTX, the Anvil. This one for us, it was freezing cold. I mean, it was like, I think the high for the entire weekend was like in the low 50s. And it got down into the low 20s at night. So it was freezing cold. I learned that the sleep system does actually work. It's not going to keep you warm, but you can fall asleep and stay asleep in 20, 25 degree weather. What else was in the Anvil? We did a bunch of battle drills. Oh, low battery notification. I should probably hurry up and film this. We did battle drills. Battle drills are a lot of fun. I love that. I'm trying to go infantry as an officer, so that stuff is awesome to me. I love it. But we did battle drills, more battle drills, and that was about it. We were out there for, I think it's 3 days, 2 nights. Yeah, 3 days, 2 nights, and we did fire and maneuver right afterwards, which was just a practice run for our buddy team live fire, which you do way later in the course. So this is end of week 6 now, and week 7 is where it gets weird for us because we were holiday block leave. So this like entire first half of the week, they basically just prepared us to go back home for Christmas. Um, I can't give you any real like help for what week 7 looks like for a normal course because all of week 7 for us was sending us out, and then when we got back 2 weeks later, the end of week 7 was just getting us all regrouped. So I'm just gonna skip ahead on this. Moving into week 8, you're gonna have EOCT prep, which is just a written test. Not really written. There's practical parts also. So there'll be probably, I think there was 12 or 14 parts of the test for us. They just took 4 random parts of the test and gave it to us as the EOCT. It was kind of unorganized. They'll give you like refresher training beforehand so that you can do well. Just pay attention, do what you've been trained to do. It's not hard. I mean, I think there were only like 2 people that failed it in our platoon, and I mean, some of those people just can't be helped. I mean, they're just not going to make it regardless of what you can do. So after that, we moved into, what did we do? The schedule, I have 2 things listed here. Schedule changes. It's not really the most organized process. I think we did Buddy Team Live Fire first, but Buddy Team Live, yeah, we did Buddy Team Live Fire. Buddy Team Live Fire is you're going to do IMTs, your individual movement techniques, to advance behind obstacles, to close on like a bunch of targets, and you're going to have your buddy either on the other lane, so either on the left or right of you, maybe 20, 25 yards away, and you're going to be shooting at the same targets, covering each other while you're moving with live ammunition. The drills all say it's the most dangerous day of basic training because you've got trainees who, I mean, most of them only have like 2-3 weeks with a rifle in their lives, and they're shooting live ammo pretty freaking close to each other. So make sure you're on your game that day. We did see a couple people who just got absolutely chewed out, flagged their battle buddies. It's not a day to mess around. Make sure you're on your A game. So after Buddy Team Live Fire, we did our EOC test. Again, it's not that hard. Another ACFT, and we moved into grenade training. Grenades are pretty cool. It was freezing cold for us those days, so when you're holding on to that like metal grenade, it sucks even more heat out of your fingers. I literally couldn't feel my hands when I was throwing those things, but grenades are pretty cool. If you've ever been around like a mortar firework, like one of the ones you shoot up in the sky and it blows up, it's like that times like 20. Like it's awesome. I can't describe it. But after grenades, this is end of week 8 is when we finished with the grenades. You're kind of just going to be getting ready for your last field exercise, the forge. We did a prep day for it, getting all of our stuff ready, and then we did the forge itself. And the forge is a little different from the other 2 rucks. For the other 2 field exercises, you ruck out to both other field exercises, and then you drive back or get bussed back. The first one's like, I think it's like a 4-mile ruck march. The second one's like 7.5-mile ruck march for the anvil. The forge is I think it's a 10-mile ruck out and then like a 12 back. I think we ended up doing about 10 out and 14 back or 13 back, because we had to link up with some other companies in this weird roundabout thing to make the graduation like soldier ceremony or whatever. But the forge it was honestly pretty underwhelming. My platoon was on the far end, like as far as you could get from the main road. We didn't really get a lot of OPFOR interaction, so we mainly just sat around in our foxholes and just did whatever. Like we just talk, honestly, chill out. We did do battle drills. We only did those for like, I think we did them 2 days in a row, but I only got to run one each day. It was kind of lame. I thought it was going to be a lot cooler than it was, honestly. Um, yeah, we did Nick at Night during that time. Nick at Night's pretty freaking cool. My earplug fell out, and I got like a volley of 240 Bravo fire, like maybe 30 yards away, and it sucked. I couldn't hear crap for like a couple hours. But Nick at Night, basically, you're gonna crawl through this like long sand pit under like razor wire, and there's gonna be live fire like 240s over your head. It's pretty cool. They're gonna be firing tracers and stuff. They've got like explosive pits and stuff. It's awesome. But don't wear any snivel gear to that if you're in like a winter month. You're gonna sweat your ass off. It's gonna suck. But the ruck back from the forge was probably the worst part of it. Just make sure you're taking care of your feet. That's all I can say about it. Just thug it out. So after we got back from the forge, we had our little victory lunch or victory dinner, it was cool, I guess. Then we got into combatives in the pool comp. That was pretty cool. It's like, if you got any beef with people you've been wanting to fight all cycle, that's the day to take it out. I didn't get to fight anyone, unfortunately. The guy I called out wasn't there that day. He was getting his uniform fixed, but whatever. So after the Poogle comp, after the forge, really, it's just admin stuff and ceremony. You're not going to be doing much for the last week and a half of basic. This is in week 10 now. All I have here is like, you turn in your CIF stuff, you clean it for like 2 days, you clean your weapons for like 3 full days to turn back in, you clean your bays, get your final haircut, and then do graduation rehearsal. That's pretty much like the last 10 days of basic training. It's kind of boring. But family day and graduation are pretty fun days. Family day was a blast. I liked the ceremony for family day a little more than graduation, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, family day, you just get to go out with your family on base the entire day, get all your stuff ready for the next morning, march out to the field, and yeah. Ceremony goes, general gives a little speech, battalion commander gives a little speech, sergeant major gives a little speech, and 45 minutes later, you leave. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. If there's something you want to know about basic, if there's something I missed, feel free to correct me. If you liked the video, if it was helpful, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos on this in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching.